Welcome to Mississippi Insight Meditation. For more information about our organization or to leave a much needed donation, please visit our website at msinsightmeditation.org. Today's topic is going to be the seventh path factor in the Noble Eightfold Path, which is wise mindfulness. Before we get started though, I'd like to take a moment and do a brief 1-minute meditation, kind of to bring us into the space here and now. This is fairly easy and you can do it anytime, anywhere. You just need to calm yourself and collect yourself. So let's begin our 1-minute meditation. For a 1-minute meditation, we're going to take 7 or 8 long, deep, slow breaths. On the first inhale, try to connect to the here and now, while as you exhale, try to relax your facial muscles or maybe your neck muscles. On your next inhale, try to connect to the present moment. And as you exhale, relax the muscles in your upper and lower back. On the next long inhale, really feel the air as it enters your nostrils. And as you exhale, relax your chest. As you inhale, feel your lungs expand. And as you exhale, relax your arms and your hands. On your next inhale, try to feel a wave of calm. And on your exhale, relax your belly. On your next deep inhale, try to feel a wave of contentment. And as you exhale, relax your leg muscles. Try to settle your mind as you breathe in and send a relaxing wave through your body as you breathe out. So, we've been learning mindfulness for the past few weeks, and mindfulness is central to what we do. It's where our choices are. When you're being mindful, there's no room for judgment or clinging or planning or imagining or wishing. We just simply be with our direct experience. We don't add constructs to what's actually happening. Now, right mindfulness is actually a set of coordinated practices when used as the seventh path factor. It's not just about being present, it's paying special attention to 4 different areas, and it's giving our mindfulness some direction. If we were mindful of our thumb, if we had perfect concentration and hours of being present, mind and body, with our thumb, that's not going to bring us internal peace. We talked about right intention, and we have to set the intention to try to find our internal peace. And being fully concentrated on our thumb wouldn't bring that to us. So we have to direct our mindfulness. And there are 4 applications, there are 4 practices, right? Because this is a practice. There are 4 practices of right mindfulness as it relates to the path of peace. And that's what we're going to learn today. The first practice that you want to try when you're working on right mindfulness is practicing with the body. We're going to practice with the breath. We're going to be mindful of how our body experiences breathing. We're going to pay attention to if we take long breaths or short breaths. How does it feel in the nostrils? How does it feel when the lungs expand and contract or the belly rises and falls? Again, we're not going to try to control our breath or dictate how we breathe. We're simply going to pay attention to our breath and how our body experiences breathing. Another way to practice mindfulness of the body is to pay attention to your posture. We are always in one of 4 different postures. We're either sitting, we're standing, we're walking, or we're lying down. So if you can be mindful of what posture you're in, then it helps us to realize that the body isn't a self. It's something that's made up of pieces of a whole, pieces that move in unison. And we use these different parts of the whole. Your mind decides to stand. We have chemicals in the brain that we send through neurons, and it makes our muscles fire. So by bringing awareness to our posture, it helps us to understand that we are not one thing. We are not our body. We are not our anger. We are not our past. We are not our future. Our experience is a group of circumstances that come together in this one moment of time. So part of our mindfulness practice can be paying attention to our posture. Another way to use the body to practice mindfulness is to pay attention to how your body is feeling. Make a fist and squeeze it tight. Really feel how that feels. Pay attention to your hand and the feelings you have in that hand as you make a fist. Now I'm going to ask you to let go of that fist. Feel how that feels to let go. There's different sets of feelings, but it's the same hand. It feels differently if you squeeze a fist tight or if you let that fist go. But once again, it's the exact same hand. And our body is the exact same way. Our body contains all of our suffering and it contains all of our happiness in the same location. So be aware of how your body is feeling. Are you feeling tight, constricted, caught, emotional, closed? Or is your body feeling open and relaxed and calm and peaceful? By paying attention to how our body is feeling, we can develop wise mindfulness. So I said there were 4 applications. The first application of right mindfulness is paying attention to the body. The second practice of right mindfulness is how it relates to the body. We're going to pay attention to how we feel, or as Gil Fronsdal says, our feeling flavor. Every experience is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Every experience we have, whether it's inner or outer, we're going to feel pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral about that experience. It's going to be one of the 3. So be mindful of which it is, because that is what drives us. Now, what I mean by drives us, if something is pleasant, we tend to attach to it. We tend to cling to it and crave it. And that can cause us suffering in the long run. If you have a favorite coffee cup and you cling to it and then it breaks, it's going to cause you unhappiness. It's going to cause you dukkha, which is suffering. So if we know we're attached to something, we can look at it in a way and try to dissolve the bonds of that attachment. If something is unpleasant, we tend to push it away. That can cause us suffering. Um, I used to push away my anger, and it was because it was unpleasant. And it wasn't until I actually sat with it and got to know it that I was able to release the bonds that attached me to it. So if something's unpleasant, we tend to push it away. And if something's neutral, we tend to space out. And if we're spacing out because we think something is boring or we just don't care about it, we're not living our best life, which is in the here and the now. So by paying attention to our feeling flavors, by becoming mindful of our feeling flavors, we can start to give our mindfulness some direction so that we can release the bonds that attach us that cause clinging. So um, our third practice, our third item that we're going to pay special attention to when we're practicing mindfulness is our mind state. How is our state of mind? Are we feeling contracted or expansive? An example of this is if you eat a really heavy meal and it's a beautiful sunny day and you go lay in your hammock and you take a nap, you're probably feeling pretty expansive. You get a phone call and it's the IRS, that mind state might change, and now you could be feeling contracted, you could be feeling heavy, weighed down, troubled. So we don't try to force our mind states. It's not about forcing a happy mind state all the time. It's just noticing the shifting qualities throughout the day. If you can be aware of how your mind state shifts constantly, then when you are in an unpleasant mind state, it's really easy to know that it's temporary, that it will shift because it's always shifting. Our mind states are always shifting. That is the nature of mind states. So if you can be really mindful of those constant shiftings, then you will also know that any pleasant mind state, any unpleasant mind state, it's going to change, and that's okay. You just be with what is. So the fourth area of our mindfulness training as it relates to the seventh path factor of the Noble Eightfold Path is the area of mindfulness training. Buka Bodhi uses the word phenomena. Gil Fronsdal uses the word truth. So whichever one works for you. I tend to like the word truth. It's easier for me to remember. But what you want to do in your fourth area of mindfulness training is notice what affects the quality of your heart, what traps it, and what liberates it. And why I like Gil's translation, truth, is because you have to be honest with yourself about what traps your heart, what traps the quality of your heart. How does attachment cause you suffering? And how does the release of that attachment bring you freedom or liberation, peace, whatever word works for you? Truth has us understand what traps us and how to free ourselves from it. I'm not sure if it was in relation to this talk, but Gil gave an example once of one of his teachers who had a favorite cup, and it was his favorite cup. It was his favorite coffee cup. And a student asked this teacher, I thought you weren't supposed to be attached to things. And the monk said, I'm not attached. It is my favorite cup, but I picture it broken so that when it does break, it's not going to cause me any suffering. I'll just find a new favorite cup. So if we can be really honest with ourselves at what traps our heart, then that mindfulness will allow us to figure out how to release ourselves from that attachment. So if we can be really honest about what traps our heart, then we can figure out how to untrap it. So why is mindfulness? It allows you to evaluate what is skillful and what is not helpful or not skillful in your life. And again, you want to practice with 4 different areas. Start off practicing with the body. Is it constricted or is it open? Practice your feeling flavor. When you experience something, really try to pay attention to, is it pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? And again, be mindful of your feeling flavor when you experience something. And if you experience something externally with your 5 senses or internally, maybe you're experiencing remorse or love or apathy. But whatever you experience, pay attention, be mindful of if it's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Pay attention. Are you clinging to the pleasant? Are you shunning the unpleasant? And are you apathetic towards the neutral? Really pay attention to those states. Be mindful of your mind states. Are you constricted or are you open? Are you weighed down or do you feel light? Lastly, we want to be mindful of the truth. What traps our heart and what liberates it? If you're only free when things are pleasant, then you're not really free. And the goal of our practice, of everything we're learning and everything we're doing, everything we're practicing, is to become free of our suffering. So let's do a meditation together. Get in a stable, alert, yet relaxed posture. Try to balance between alert and relaxed. Gently close your eyes and remember that the most basic thing we're doing is simply noticing what is happening in the present moment. Just noticing. In order to help get connected to the present moment, it's often helpful at the beginning of a meditation to take a few long, slow, deep breaths. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, while keeping your alert posture, try to relax into your body. Try to let go of whatever tension you can easily let go of. Now allow your breathing to return to normal. Scan through your body to see if there are any places where you can relax some of your muscles while you keep your alert posture. I like to start with softening my forehead, relaxing the muscles around my eyes. Perhaps you can soften your jaw. Many people carry tension in their shoulders. So even if it's not possible to relax your shoulders, maybe there can be a softening of some of the tension found there. Relax the muscles of your upper back. Moving down to relax the muscles in your lower back. Try to relax the muscles in your chest. Down each arm, the muscles in your hands. Relax your belly. Keep your stomach soft and allow it to hang down in front of you. Relax the muscles in the legs. As you breathe normally, just gently scan the body, softening wherever you can. I'll ask you to now turn your attention to your breath. How does your body experience breathing? Let go of all thoughts and simply spend a few moments experiencing the breath. At this time, I'm going to ask you to let go of your breath and turn your attention to the body. How is your body feeling? Is it tight, constricted, caught, emotional? Is it closed? Or is it peaceful, calm, relaxed, or open? There is no right and there is no wrong. There is only noticing how your body is at this moment. What is your feeling flavor towards this meditation? Is it pleasant, unpleasant, neutral? Don't purposely try to shift the experience. Just notice it for what it is. I'll ask you to take a moment to try and notice what affects the quality of your heart. Is there something trapping it? Can you notice how there might be an attachment or a clinging that is causing you suffering? Can you ease or soften around that in some way? And if you are able to soften around it, relax into the freedom that it brings. For the last few minutes of this sitting, I'll ask you to let go of all thoughts and come back to the breathing. Pay attention to how your body experiences breathing. See if you can stay with it for as long as possible. Stay with the rhythm of the breath. If thoughts or emotions arise, just simply put them into the background and with gentle, loving kindness, without judgment or reaction, bring yourself back to the breath as many times as necessary. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you're interested in learning more about the Noble Eightfold Path, please visit our YouTube channel, perhaps subscribe, or you can visit our website at msinsightmeditation.org. Thank you so much for being here.